Okay, this is OK here, and we're watching Magnus Carlsen, who is GM Dr. Liechtenstein on Lichess, play Crazyhouse. He's black, and well, he's playing similar opening to what I would play. He's hitting on G2, showing, ooh, he's dropped his knight, but he's got a knight back. Interesting stuff. Throws in a check, and ooh, that white didn't capture it. So this is a 3+0. 3+0 Crazyhouse. So I'm just going to so just checking if he has actually played any games of Crazyhouse before. Crazyhouse is sort of greyed out. I don't think he's played. I think this might be his first ever game of Crazyhouse, unless he's played on another account. But I mean, this idea of hitting on G2 is good stuff. This check was a nice thing, nice defensive move to defend his queen with this check. He's won a piece. So yeah, he's actually up material here. Hitting the queen, castles. So the white only has a pawn in hand, and he's going to get chessed. What we're looking forward to is actually a match between Xuanet and Zeck, in the Crazyhouse World Championship, which is actually defined. Ooh, so white goes on account that he's losing. Now this is an interesting move because the knight is pinned. So white doesn't have that much material. Jasugi99 is watching, so he's actually, him and Katask are the highest rated Crazyhouse players at the moment. Oh, I mean the chat is so active. Variant Bunny also watching. Okay, so what's happening is actually white, with despite only having a pawn and knight in hand, with that open rook file, is actually starting a bit of an attack. He could probably. Okay, so he's defending desperately. Hi there, Zeck. You're waiting for Xuanet. Indeed, I guessed as much. I have no idea where where Xuanet is. Obviously, once the match does start, obviously, don't watch the stream. That's needless to say. Magnus has got his king kind of stuck. He might be mated. He wants to run this way. Because if he runs this way, runs back, pawn here was checkmate. And if he runs here, pawn there was checkmate. Sorry, if he ran here, I don't see it, but knight takes knight, there must be a mate with the knight in hand. Okay, so his opponent only has 15 seconds, but he's got struggled how to get back to safety. He's still got this square, but bishop takes. Well, he's always got this. Okay, so he's running desperately with his king. I think he might survive, but let me see. Maybe he won't actually. Pawn there's mate. Ah, he gets mated, and he was actually really winning this game. I think. If we look a little bit earlier, I think. Oh, so taking the queen didn't seem like taking the bishop apparently was even stronger. Taking the queen, he just had to defend very accurately in this position. Bishop at h6 apparently is a good defending move. Bishop f4 check was also very good, strong. Apparently this was the big mistake. So this is a critical point. Knight at e4 check. That seems crazy. Why can't we just take it? The idea is you grab a knight and then you're probably going to put a knight on f3. So if I just run this way, queen at d2, king takes f3, knight comes into e5. It's very, yeah. If king takes f4, queen takes f2, and you can see this is going to be trouble. But if you run back, there's bishop f3 here, queen takes rook. There's going to be a back rank mate. So just the one game, it seems, of just the one game of Crazyhouse Magnus experiments. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. If I just turn on the I turn on the TV, that's it. Yeah, there's nothing else happened. Okay, so really a critical mistake blocking with the knight. It's not so easy to see. So rather than going, um, rather than continuing the attack in some way, but this is a very sharp position. And maybe a move like bishop h6, would that have been okay? Yeah, that would have been. That would have just about kept the advantage apparently. So what else are people saying? No, that's it. Yeah, so white had an advantage. So white lost his advantage with this move apparently. Yeah, that was clear because it just dropped a whole piece. He could have just taken and maintained an edge. Put the bishop. Why not bishop back on d6? Is there a reason why not? Yes, because you're dropping this bishop. Okay, but knight at d6 check was strong. Yeah, so it destabilizes the king, so the king can never castle, and also protects the bishop. So was bishop at d6 in the first place maybe not the best move? Yeah, knight at d6 was stronger in this position maybe. Knight at d6, knight at d6, king f8. This file is opening. The king is very open, so quite a sharp position. Okay, so we're looking forward, as I said, to xuanet against Zeck. Zeck is online on Lichess. Xuanet has not shown up, it seems. So just opening up xuanet. He was last online 2 hours ago. Okay, so we're going to look from xuanet's perspective. We haven't seen much of Zeck in recent years on Lichess, whereas xuanet has played some of the most games of any player on Lichess in Crazyhouse. So in terms of experience, xuanet is probably the favourite, but Zeck is a veteran of the game also. But although he's been playing since fixed days, we just haven't seen much of him. And he's walked through the earlier rounds. Who is the favourite? Says Fumi. They played exactly 100 games before. Fun fact. And xuanet 52.5, 47.5. Okay, so Zeck has played a fair number of games on Lichess to have played 100 against xuanet. Cat Poacher says xuanet slight favourite, but I haven't seen Zeck play a lot. Yeah, it's indeed a fun fact. So I'm looking in this position that probably white is planning to go queen e2 and castle queenside. But no real weaknesses in black's position actually. Although black has sacked a piece for 2 pawns, or exchanged a piece for 2 pawns. Okay, so Zeck's in the tank. So what did we see? We saw, just to back up a bit, knight d3 at g2. Okay, so deflecting that knight, but giving up a pawn in the process. So in terms of material, xuanet is doing nicely, although xuanet, of course, is famous for liking to have the attack. So. Okay, well, I think xuanet's going to have fun now. If he ever wants a pawn, he can grab a pawn here. He does need to, if his king does ever run into trouble, he can castle. I was thinking at h6, but actually he goes for e6. It just emphasizes how comfortable his position is, that he has e6 as well as an idea. At h6 was also an idea though. Probably at h6 here takes, but then see this would be a threat. So h6 felt strong. But this is good also. Well, we're going to see. What are we going to see? I think it's just, yeah, obviously Black wants to take the knight, so the question is, do you want to go Desperado with the knight or not? That move says to me he wants to get a knight for some reason, which I didn't expect, because he's allowing this trade of a knight for 2 pawns. Isn't that just losing your attack a little bit? So why does he want that knight? Yeah, it just feels like yeah, it wasn't worth it. He should have gone this way. But anyway, now he has to build again from scratch. He's probably still doing. Ah, he's got back in. That's a nice fork because obviously this is pinned. Knight takes queen now comes with check. This is really strong play from xuanet. I'm guessing there was no time for moves like knight takes pawn, knight takes queen. Okay, so he comes in, queen takes rook, and there'll be a block. Okay, he wants queen takes. Okay, that makes sense. You can get the rook with this way. He's also well covered at the back, so it's not really. But okay, he's hunting for the mate, and he's got the bishop exposed when the knight came out. Okay, so xuanet with really strong start takes the game one. So what approach is he going to take? It's going to be d4 from Zeck. Okay, he's going for g2, but so this would defend this, but he's going defending on f3 instead, which is fair enough. So this knight takes, okay. I think white wouldn't mind backing off, covering some dark squares in the process if this try and exploit some weaknesses in black's position, but okay. And also I thought he was going to take back with the bishop and put pressure here, try and get in on e3, but that wasn't his plan at all. Because I think there are a lot of people streaming on Lichess right now. But this is a big match. This is a match. In fact, the winner of this match will go into the candidates for sure, and we'll also play a $100 match before that, a $100 prize match. It's just showing all the people streaming, and at the top there's xuanet, Zeck, Crazyhouse World Championship. So lots of streams happening at the moment. So bishop takes bishop is tempting, but actually double pawns are not such a bad thing in Crazyhouse. It controls lots of squares. And it would also open up your file. It would create a weakness on g6 though. So white goes for it. So there are ideas, for example, like even putting a knight here, for example, picking up a bishop, or putting a bishop here. But stronger actually is what he's done, is first exploit this pin. Yeah, really strong reinforcement move. Takes. So this square is really well reinforced. Can't break through. You could try though, but then... Oh, I wonder if he could have tried. Could he have tried? You do this, so it doesn't really work, so that's why you had to take it. Well, this, bishop takes pawn, block, and then you'd have to... Okay, so I said g6 was a potential weakness. We did indeed get the knight at g6. But not to pick up a bishop, just to pick up a pawn. And probably pawn at g6 next if he gets a chance. Okay, he's reinforcing the e5 square. He wants to just keep a stake in the position. It's quite difficult though, because this is both threatening the bishop and hence the knight, and threatening knight takes e3. So this is a very good move from xuanet. This knight at f5. This is just meanwhile just defended. He could have just taken it, but chooses not to. Could have taken it either way. Takes. But he chooses not to, so why not? Because I think he wants to keep this threat of knight takes... Yeah, this is actually very interesting from xuanet. If white could get hold of a rook or a queen, his position is really strong. The thing is, maybe he can. Bishop takes knight, knight takes knight here. So he's given up the queen, but now he has to defend these squares. So has he done it effectively? So if rook here, takes, queen here, yeah, he just about has defense. Everything seems to be just about defended. So we're going to get this theory tested. I don't think white's got... So he takes, yeah. Grabs this. Is that a danger at all? Still the blocks here. I think everything's still fine. So it takes. So the key square in why black is still safe is the f7 square is defended. So there's no... Yeah, this is important. Okay. So you can block. Basically, this is the diagonal that's defending the king. This is the wall, the king's wall. It's hard to impregnate it. So Futox is... So Futox is saying, of course, xuanet is the Michael Tal of Crazyhouse, in case anyone had forgotten. And Catfish just says, I thought Tal was the xuanet of chess. Ooh, ouch, that looks painful. Letting him get a knight, ooh, that's gonna hurt. Because if you takes, there's gonna be knight here, check, takes here. This is gonna hurt. This is going to hurt. Oh, very nice. Okay, so the question is, does bishop here work? Bishop here, king here. So probably it didn't work. Bishop here, king here, or bishop here takes, and nothing else. Don't know. That would have been really risky actually in this position. Bishop here takes. Oh, he doesn't have a knight in hand, so I guess nothing going. Okay, mate in one threat. Watch out, queen g8. So can xuanet survive this? This. Oh, what's... No, this is xuanet's weakness. Missing mate in one. This has to be said. So xuanet has a weakness. While he's busy concocting his plans against the opponent. Okay, so maybe that was losing the whole time. But if I just go, if I go sort of this sort of position, yeah, so it's already +6. I thought he was going okay, but yeah, it was too much the whole time. Okay, game 3, one game all. Hi there, Dennis Maria. So what's happening this game? Okay, so Zeck is giving the knight just to get this really safe king structure, but the one weakness is h6 in this kind of structure. Ooh, bang! xuanet straight in. Takes, a nice move defending g7. Takes the rook. Okay, so yeah, so white has got a slight edge in having. Is it the extra rook? Hi there, Fumi.
Hi.
I'm live streaming the match, yes, but it would be cool if you can join in. That's wonderful. So Deadban says, how many rounds to reach the candidates? And the answer is this round. Okay, so what are you making of the match so far, Fumi? I thought xuanet was going to pull off the last game, but obviously Zeck was too strong.
Boring as hell.
So is xuanet playing too defensively, or what's going on? Is he playing?
I mean, first game with like c6 opening is not great. And so it was kind of one way, more or less. And the second one, yeah, was too boring.
So they're both playing quite sort of cagey, I would say, yeah. They're meaning quite chessy style, yeah.
But it's not just chessy; it's chessy and kind of boring.
Okay. So the way you play against T cubes, that's what I describe as chessy. Having said that, I haven't heard much from T cubes lately. Don't know if anyone's seen him. So yeah, xuanet wanted knight at h6, obviously, picking up the bishop. So h6 kind of defends, probably even rook at h2 might be tempting. Maybe rook at h4, even better. So trying to hit the bishop and the pawn, is there any defense? Probably like backing the bishop off. What else?
Well, he can take on f3 first, maybe.
Yeah, take on f3.
Kind of dangerous though, because take on f3, you can bishop h6.
Yeah. And you only have a knight in hand. If you had a pawn in hand, that'd be fine. You just put a pawn on g7 and chill. But yeah, you don't have a pawn in hand. So you don't really want to go h5 because that's not good. So bishop h5 looks like the only reasonable option. That will create.
I think it's GG's.
It creates a positional weakness, but how to exploit it though?
So, wait, what creates a positional weakness?
Well, bishop h5 takes.
Bishop h5.
Bishop h5 takes. You take it, right? Or what? Or you can
maybe
also g4.
maybe queen c1 instead, and then you can defend h6.
I was thinking actually bishop h5, g4 actually won the bishop as well. Yeah. Yes.
Or bishop h5, queen c1, and then h6 is hanging.
Oh yeah, queen c1 as well. Yeah. Okay, he's crashing through. So lots of open files. Lots of open files, and not much material in hand for black to actually fix the problems. So trying to get play on h2. Simply protects with the pawn. Yes, I think white's just got too much in hand here. So yeah, to cause trouble. Okay, bishop's under attack. At g6 would be take and pawn on the h file. Is it ever a danger? Not really. Could just play it slow and reinforce as well. Like bishop at h4. Okay. Yeah, going in, getting a heavy for d8, and this is going to be trouble. There's no way of defending that queen because your bishop's trapped. So that's a really nice move there from xuanet. I mean, knight d6. It's not exactly what you want to do. It's your most aggressive piece. So quite a passive setup against d4 here. But okay.
Well, d4 is passive move.
Yeah, but for black's response to d4 is usually d5 at least. It's quite a. So we're seeing a similar opening from 2 games ago.
This is not good for both colors.
Yeah, so black doesn't have much space, so probably wants to trade some pieces, I imagine. Is that right? I don't know, it looks solid though. Just everything was in the 3 ranks and yeah.
This is boring.
Well, I enjoy the sort of the dance of slow Crazyhouse, as it were. So yeah, it's a slower build up, as it were. So are we going to see e5 coming at some stage from black? It's going to be just reinforce bishop. So white can get a bishop if he wants it. And what's Upper saying? I expect a lot of white wins in this match. Well, neither of them are playing theory that theoretically, so you never know. I mean, we saw just like in the last match, this sort of he's protecting this diagonal from d8 to h4. This is his this is the xuanet's defensive triangle around his king. And the point is, if you take this pawn, you're giving another piece hitting this diagonal. So maybe he doesn't take it. Maybe he pushes. Okay, but he does take it. Well, there's 2 pawns hanging in the position, c7 and b2. So yeah, xuanet goes for defense, but yeah, this is just begging for d4. Takes, takes, takes with the trick of knight at d2 at the end of the line, if the queen took it. In the meantime, yeah, if white can get a move, he has ideas like knight at f5. Whoa. Are you okay, Fumi? I had quite a crash. Got to be careful here because queen takes g7 is quite possibly a mate threat. With yeah, so if you do bishop h7 again, queen takes g7, king takes. Let me see, where would the mate be? Oh, he does it. I can't believe it. This is asking for trouble. So you probably thinks h7 is safe. No, is it?
Right, why knight f5, not knight h5?
Yeah, knight h5, knight f6, takes. Yeah, then f6 is a little bit less safe with knight h5, isn't it? So there he was going for some... Yeah, what was he going for?
For bishop f2.
So white was hoping for... yeah, white was hoping for knight at f6, which would be mating, yeah. So taking that knight was actually really important. That knight on e7. So yeah, bishop f2 with 2 knights, queen, yeah, that would be game over. And opposite says knight h3. So if takes e7, knight h3,
But I think even bishop f2 was winning. Knight g3, rook h2.
knight e3, yeah. Knight e3, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. It looks like you've got so many pieces in hand, you must have something. With queen and rook, yes, everything. Okay, so he defends with the bishop. If rook e2, you're probably coming in on the back rank. f2, you have you have a couple of diagonals in hand. And the black king is surprisingly safe. Oh, there may be something actually. If you do a knight takes queen, pawn takes rook, bishop takes, king h1. No, that doesn't work. Oh, yeah, maybe it does. Okay, maybe it doesn't. So somehow staying. Okay, so he moves his queen out of danger while also hitting the rook. But now is there any... But is that a mate threat? Because pawn takes queen is obviously a mate in one threat. Is there a mate threat here? There must be, but I don't see it. It must involve queen takes pawn in some way, but again, I'm not seeing it at all. I don't see this. And then if there isn't, and with only 6 seconds on the clock, xuanet might actually lose this. This is really tough. So he does rook because knight f6. Queen h7 was a threat. Oh, this is really tough. Just takes h6. Takes, double checkmate. Unbelievable. So 2 games all. But that was an unbelievable game to lose. So this. So in this position, if he just takes the queen, what's the mate? Just to clarify, so it's not so straightforward. Bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop takes f2, king h1 is the challenging move. Knight at g3 is it turns out mating with rook at h2, king takes rook. So that was the threat, and you have enough there in hand to finish off the mate. Bishop f4. If king takes, then queen at g5, and the other things mate. But was there something more decisive for white? Yeah, there was, with knight at h5. Knight h5, so if ever you go to a dark square, there's pawn on g7 is mating. If you go king h7, just knight at f6 straight away. If king g6 ever, bishop f5, king g5, f4, king h4, g3. So it was simply a mate that black walked into, but then in this position, actually, Zeck had completely messed up the mate, and black was completely winning. So e3 is a nice move. Takes. Knight d2 is nice. Knight, yeah, probably just keep on plugging away. Knight takes g3. If bishop takes g3, yes, it's just nothing completely clear. But knight takes g3, h takes g3 at d2. Just keeping up a mate threat. Okay, so going into game 5, it's still 2 games all after that, and xuanet is white and plays. We're saying the same sort of setup with d6, c6, e6, and we're seeing the same pattern of play from xuanet hitting the light squares around this black king, going for e6, f7. Nice save by Zeck, and Dasugi says, nice trick by xuanet. So what was the trick? Takes, yeah. Ooh, so he's hitting the queen, takes the queen. If the queen just backed off in this position, what then? If the queen just backed off, then what damage could you do with that knight? You could take this bishop, maybe. What's the actual threat? Okay, Zeck goes for 2 pieces for his queen, and xuanet's got a mate threat with queen d8, and this looks like it's game over. So Fumi seems to be muted now, but okay. Okay, yeah, so Zeck basically went for the only thing he could do, which is just giving up all the material to try and get his king some safety, but this is just trouble. Because how to finish this is pawn, bishop and queen. I was thinking even just, yeah, how do we finish it? Bishop at g5 maybe? Oh, okay. So similar idea. Bishop at c3. Same kind of idea. Takes the knight, and he wants to get knight h6, takes here, and his king hopefully is safe. Is the idea. Okay, throws in a check. So white's got pawn, knight, 2 bishops in hand. He's got to be careful actually, because it should be safe actually. So let's see. You don't want to ever go king takes e2 because then bishop takes f3 and black gets another piece in hand. So I'm guessing he blocks on e3, and he does. So he's blocking again. He doesn't want to use up his knight, and he doesn't want to go c3 push because that opens up the c2 square for a knight. So yeah, he's staying on a dark square. He doesn't want anything to do with this bishop. If you went here, pawn here, king takes, bishop takes knight. Okay. So now we see what his plan was all along. In terms of, he could take this bishop perhaps, but is there anything else? So with a knight and a queen in hand. So thinking of the following: queen here, rook takes, knight takes pawn, king here, queen at h6, king takes knight. Doesn't quite cut it. We're not controlling enough squares to just go all in like this. So what else could you do? The problem is, taking the bishop, you're not winning anything. You could take this bishop. And that's what he does, just as I said it. Take this bishop. And now that is a mate threat. So the mate threat would be, or is it? Not sure actually. So queen here, rook here, knight takes pawn, king here. Maybe this isn't. Bishop here, king takes knight. So it's not quite a mate threat. Pawn here. Actually, this is dangerous actually for white. I thought white was winning, and now I'm being forced to reassess this. All this material in hand. Black should have mate here. Even rook takes bishop. Rook takes bishop and at f2. Looks incredibly dangerous. So 20 seconds on the clock for Zeck to find the mate. I'd just be really shocked if there isn't a mate here. So simply also just at here. Oh, you didn't need to take this knight, because then the queen here would be mate. Oh, I don't like taking the knight though, but okay, maybe it's fine. So why didn't I like it? Maybe it's fine. This is all over. It's just too much material. Just back rank takes. Now his back rank's empty. Here. What's the continuation? I don't see it. Rook takes bishop. Bishop here will be mate. Ouch. Painful. Yeah. Okay, so actually I was completely misassessing this position like slightly earlier. Oh, I shouldn't look at the opening. At this point here, queen takes knight here. Yeah, I thought white was doing really well here. I'm not wrong. Bishop at e3 was nice. This check. Apparently king f1, don't waste your pawn. That's the key. But knight c3, okay, this is a pawn. Okay, you lose a pawn. Maybe the pawn is valuable. So the point is, if you go knight c3 and then takes the queen, it's not clear why. You want the pawn, but why? Pawn takes, king takes, knight takes bishop, rook takes, bishop at h6, king h8. So these sorts of ideas. So the pawn is was a really valuable piece to have in hand. But then yeah, in this position, yeah, pawn takes bishop is actually a terrible mistake. There's so many ways of continuing. Your rook takes e3 is surely mating. F takes e3, and it says bishop at f2, and that's just stopping you running this way. Bishop at f2, king b1. This is mating. So Zeck takes the lead in the match. 3-2. So very. Gets after the pin, takes. Okay, so a less passive setup from black, probably more solid. But he's lost the c7 pawn, but he's got an open rook file, lots of nice pressure on f3. Yeah, building up the pressure on f3. Okay, so this is serious times for xuanet. 2-3 down. And so what do we see in the last couple of moves? So reinforcing the dark squares are a potential weakness. Yeah, and Zeck is okay. So with pawn, 2 knights. Oh, this is he wants knight h3, pawn h3, knight f3, or pawn f3. Which way was better? I would say I like the knight on f3 because it can then swing back to h4, whereas a knight on h3 can't swing back as easily. So I'm tempted by pawn h3 in that position rather than pawn f3. But okay, there could be pawn f3 has other interesting ideas, maybe ideas on e2, ideas of takes and bishop. Yeah, those are the same. Okay, so he gets the knight h3, and you can't take that knight or you get mated. And what this just, yeah, and this is mate. Knight at h4. No, hang on. Where's the mate? It's important to play this accurately. Knight. Yeah, hang on. So e2 is very well defended, so you can't use that. And you have to be a little bit careful. Do we have to be careful? Maybe we don't. So what's the mate? Knight h4, king. Yeah, knight h4, king here, and bishop here is checkmate. No, it's not, because king takes this knight. Okay, there is something here. Knight h4, pawn here takes. Knight f4 first. Okay. At f3, queen takes f3, knight f4. Queen takes f3. Still not seeing it. Oh, you could take. Yeah, I'm still not seeing this at all. Ah, of course. Okay, yeah. So it's knight. The key is queen takes, knight at h4, king g3, at f4, king takes knight, knight takes queen. You get the queen with check. Game over. Yeah, and that's what Legion has noticed in the chat. If you go king g3 straight. If you go king g3 straight away, then that doesn't work because a bishop there and a knight there will mate. Okay, xuanet has seen this, I think. Knight takes queen. Ah, these 2400s are tough to beat. Because now the idea is like this. No, we could take this. Rook here, we could take it. Okay, so there really is nothing for white. He just has to defend, but then if he tries to defend like the pawn on g2, there's a smothered mate. Okay, so rook on g2, very nice. Just takes it. King takes knight, but now sudden. Yes, you can't go king takes knight. Okay, so he's defending smothered mate kind of ideas, and stopping that knight coming out is the point. Okay, so no smothered mate is what he's claiming. Is that true? Yeah, that bishop seems. But white only has a pawn in hand. That's the claim. Okay, so bishop takes knight, just to try and get something going. but now he does this. Lots of time on the clock as well. Could see it doesn't really work. He's just trying to deflect this bishop. As long as he's not mated, there's a smothered mate trick, and if you're not smothered mated, you're probably coming in. It's not trivial, but so Xuanet's taken a slow approach, just working in on these light squares. So just pawn here next, takes, backs off the king, his queen's under attack. Okay, it's all about f3. For black, he wants to get in on f3. And he wants to say white doesn't have the material to fight back, it's down too much. Takes, so white only has a rook in hand to just block with a pawn and be done with it. Ooh, he could have gone with the diagonal. Oh no. I mean, it's still fine, but white's definitely got more play than he needed to. Now there's have to back off to prevent it queening, but okay, again, f3 is going to be the threat at f3, and that's going to be hard to. Okay, so he does stop it. Knight takes bishop. Yeah, white's got nothing in hand. Okay, so Xuanet does fight back for 3-3. But gosh, this is a tight match. Okay, so in this sort of position, so he's developed the queen to a5, the bishop here. So f3 would have been tempting, but maybe the dark squares would have been a bit weak. This move, so the bishop is still guarding e6. I mean, as we've seen, we know what Xuanet is going to be trying to do. He's going to be trying to get in on these dark squares. If he does this move again, this is possible, but maybe we see the sack again. This takes. Let's see how it goes. But having said that, we saw it didn't work well because of this queen takes d6, bishop takes this. So he sacks in a slightly different way. He sacks the queen for just a pawn. And if white could get a knight in hand, then obviously knight c7 would become a threat. But black's not going to give a knight. Okay, nice move. Probably knight just to stop queen takes b7, so probably a knight block is in order here. But white might be running out of blockers. Let's see. So bishop there check, he could still block. Is there any other ideas? Okay, add h6, very nice. But it's nice, but it's not clear how to continue. So I mean, e6 is very well defended, the bishop, the knight. Queen is slightly, well, the word for it is trapped. And that means that black is going to be getting a queen in hand. Okay, that was a key move to find. Okay, so he's going to be getting something for that queen. Oh, surely black had to do something, like knight c6 or something, to stop white winning all this material. And now the queen is free even. Takes knight here, sidestep, something like this. And white also has rook here, takes this sort of idea. And then knight here. Okay, so he goes for this, so he's hoping that ever this, there's going to be, takes back this check. So 27 people in the chat, including Andre Jill, Deadban, Metin48, The Crocodile Hunter, Legion Destroyer, Barry Boswick, of course, Lucas Schuck, Tamrini, Unsound, Marble Barble, Rukastrov, myself, Primitox, Diva Vasi, GSVC, Cinnamon73, Cat Poacher, Chicken Crossroad, Chabo Chab. So lots of familiar names, but also some new names in watching the game. Yeah, this queen is going to come in useful. It's going to come back into the game. At h6 is coming. Black simply doesn't have enough pieces. That's just the fundamental problem. At h6 comes. g7 is too weak. This is game over. White is winning this game. The only question is how? How? I mean, there's knight here is interesting. Knight here is very interesting. What's the follow-up? Ooh, I like that. So he just wants to take this bishop. And what's nice about that move is if the king is going to be going towards the center, it's also opening up the d file. So this is really strong move. Although these squares are very well protected, still it's going to be strong. If you win a knight at c7 would be mate, for example. So knight takes bishop. So you are going to win a knight potentially. Oh, okay, but not, I mean, I'm trying to look for what's the best way of doing this. Yep, not so clear. Not so clear at all. So black doesn't have many pieces, but still actually playing this. So the problem is if you take this d3, knight at c2 takes rook, and all kinds of back rank issues, and actually the white king would end up fairly unsafe. So bishop takes, this square is weak. He's got to be careful not to give a heavy, and then he should be fine. But not giving a heavy might be tough. He's going here. If you do give a heavy, on the other hand, back rank is a serious issue. Okay, pawn at g7 seems strong, something very direct. And rook at h8 maybe, that does give a heavy, but yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, much better move. Queen f5, he wants rook at f8, but this is a nice move, both attacking the queen and defending f8. Goes for it anyway. Oh, this is brilliant. This is really nice. Takes. And I thought it was rook at e7, but I just didn't realize bishop is covering e7, so it doesn't quite work. But there is something here, for sure. Like, where is it? Knight here first, if bishop takes rook at e7. So knight here first. King has to move somewhere. It's got to move to one of these two squares. Maybe bishop, check. King here, now be careful. Careful, careful, careful. It should be fine, but you have to be careful here. Don't see how that works, because you can take the rook and replace the rook on g8. So that doesn't work. That was careless. That was careless, because the queen here was very strong. All he needed was a pawn to mate, and suddenly he's not doing so nicely. This is okay. Hang on. So here, but oh, okay. But black doesn't have a rook. Okay, so that was the one advantage. Is black is squeezed. Black doesn't have the rook. Okay, rook takes rook, king takes rook at h8 was the threat. He could still go takes. Now h7 is covered. Okay, so again, he's making black expend the rook. That's the cunning plan. It's got to be careful. If he ever gives up a heavy, there are back rank ideas, but should be okay. He's giving up a heavy here, but it's mate. Yeah, he's found a mate. Okay, really nice play from xuanet. 4 games to 3, so he's 2 games away from taking this, but it's still anyone's match. So he fights back from losing 2 in a row to win the next 2. Okay, interesting play from Zeck. h4. So h4, what's the response? Just develop. Just continue developing. Okay, so h5 in the offing, because we've got three pieces lining up on there and only 2 defenders. Okay, so this knight is looking a little bit precarious on g4. Where's its future? Like, if f3, you just have to sack it. Actually, could just go back and say you've created a weakness. Okay, so yeah, he goes back to h6. Actually, that's not bad, because f5 is a nice square. For the knight, just hitting the dark squares in white's position. Fumitok says xuanet never goes backwards with knights. Okay, we're going to see an en passant, I think, but then en passant would lead you to opening the file, but this f7 square is very well defended, so what else could white do? Just back off. So he just wants a pawn now for g3, and then he's really looking quite comfortable. But do you want it so badly? Do you want to sack for it? Probably not. So it's cagey stuff again, this game. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So going for a fork doesn't work because you have a counter threat. Okay. And then you can take a bishop or something. And if pawn takes knight, yeah, so it takes back. And now he has to retreat the knight. So what? If black had 2 pawns, then obviously g2, h2 would suddenly become a problem. So he's going for knight takes pawn. He's got his first pawn, and now he's going for a second one, potentially. So there are issues, but maybe it's not fast enough. So Yeah, this is this is going to be painful. If knight takes rook at f7 is a threat, and this is going to be painful. It's going to be hard to see what to do. So knight takes rook for sure is coming. And what do you do? Oh, this is not going to work. Oh, this is so painful. So he was Zeck just going for simply. No, it doesn't quite work because the knight protects. But yeah, what is the plan of that move? Rook here, knight takes, then rook takes pawn. Yeah. So rook g8 was the threat. So you'd have to go queen takes, takes, just to keep your guard on h7. Okay, knight takes rook. I don't know. This seems fine. Knight takes rook. Takes. Knight here, check. King here. Don't see if knight takes pawn. King here. Crucially, don't go king here because otherwise this would mate you. Queen takes. Knight takes. Oh, you can also take it. I didn't expect this at all. I really didn't expect this. So was there a reason not to go king f8 in this position? King f8, knight here, you could just take it. King f8 just looks so safe. But maybe I'm wrong. So takes. So his argument is white only has a queen. It looks bad. What are people saying in chat? Rakastrov, final score of this is going to be 2018. I need to go in less than half an hour, so I really don't want this to go to 2018. This is a problem, yeah, because if you took, then there's bishop here, queen here, and you've lost your protection over light squares, so not wanting to take if we can avoid it, but queen there. Hang on, wasn't there something else? No, I don't see it. Okay. Bishop takes bishop, queen takes rook. Wow, he's actually covering all the squares. Oh, very nice, very nice. So if bishop takes, you have just queen there, check, and queen takes bishop, and he resigns. And if, let's just have a look at that last position again. If the king goes to d8, then simply queen f8, and queen takes any blocker. So king e8, queen, king d8, queen f8, queen takes e8 was one line. And then the other line is if bishop takes pawn, you just go queen f7, queen takes d7. Yeah. So whichever way. It looked like the bishop and knight were protecting everything, but the problem is once you take something, you're no longer protecting it. Okay, so every single game, white-black has like followed this opening, which is almost like 7 moves deep, with these ideas of like knight takes, opening this. Okay, and how have they gone, these games? Xuanet won the last one, he lost the one before that, he won the one before that, and he won, so he's 3-1 up out of these 4 games. And so Zeck has decided to mix things up and send the queen straight back to d8. So that's the first change. Send the thing straight back to d8, but xuanet is going to hit those light squares. This looks very bad for black. He looks like he's a lot of tempi down. Bishop takes pawn, yum, because queen here is checkmate. Very strong, very strong. Now he just wants a knight. Looks very juicy. Oh look, he's just grabbed himself a knight. This looks very juicy. So the threat is knight. Oh yes, juicy. Okay, this is just so. I mean, this is. I think he wants knight d5. Maybe there are other ideas also. like knight d6, but knight d5 looks good. Okay, we're going to see knight d5 for sure, and we do. So the king really doesn't want to step up because that's very close to mate if you step up. Now here, king goes here. It's like I don't see anything immediately, but it's just really. So he gives up the queen. I mean, you could take the knight with check or all sorts of things. Was there a direct mate after king comes up? Yeah, there is a direct mate. Pawn here, king takes pawn, queen here. Or pawn here, king here, but this is really, really close to mate. I can't see it. Can't see it exactly, but there's something mating here. Maybe pawn takes knight, then we have another knight, we go knight here, then the king has to come up, and then we mate with the queen and pawns. Yeah, so king coming up was mate. He had to give up the queen. And in this position, it's probably going to just go for queen takes knight here. Queen takes knight, knight here. If he steps up, it's going to be like a hook kind of mate. Knight here, pawn here is maybe another pawn to mate. Just queen coming here to mate. Yeah. So queen takes knight still works. Queen takes knight, knight. Yep, it does. Xuanet is. I've got the Xuanet vibe going. So if pawn takes or knight takes, the point is knight here. If you step back, is queen here and queen takes bishop. Oh, but the knight is protecting the bishop, so pawn takes might still work. And maybe he overlooked this. Let's see. Knight here, king here. Oh, but queen here is still checkmate because the king can't run because of this pawn. This key pawn stopping him running to e8. So yeah, this is just a resign. Poison queen, as Colossus says. Take with pawn, let's mate. Take with pawn, knight here. Okay, so he defends. He's defending desperately this d5 square. So Fumi noticed something which I didn't see, which was take with pawn, knight here, queen, knight here, king here, queen here, knight, king e. Oh, king d6. Okay, yeah, knight here, king d6, and you don't have queen takes bishop ever. I don't believe it, but king d6, queen there, check, king there, pawn here is still mate because the knight's covering. So I think it's still mate, yeah. So he doesn't take it. Backs off. So there's a threat on here, a threat on here. And Zeck doesn't have much material. Bishop at e2 is, he wants to, would be an idea of going this, but the queen even covers that idea. Could just take on g2 with the pawn. Seems simple enough. Okay, instead he's going for something very direct. He's stopping. Yeah, he wanted knight at e6. Okay. And now he's just going for material. He's fed up. Or he's happy that knight here is interesting. So remember, the queen is always covering. Okay, so he doesn't go for that. And the nice thing about this is if takes, this is covering this key square. Wow, Zeck is such a good defender. He's hard to beat. Now look at what Zeck's up to. He's up to knight at d3. This is not easy. But having said that, no, I mean, queen takes knight. Oh, he's allowed knight d3. I mean, that's scary. That is scary for sure. If you go this way, you're losing the queen with check. So you don't go that way, you go this way. But now this king takes, knight at, bishop is still guarding the square though, so, and also black's maybe a bit short of pawns. You could even just back off. And meanwhile, you have this threat of knight at e3, takes, queen here, check, and that would surely be mating, because you've got queen in hand. Okay, so he tries to, with this move, what's he doing? He's covering this square, so he could take the knight if he wants to. No, he can't, because queen here is a problem. I don't get it. I don't get it. I simply don't get it. Oh, pawn takes queen here. Ah, so this just weakened up this square. Pushing was a terrible mistake, but if you don't push, then you have to consume something, and then you don't have the mate. Takes the queen and just promote, yeah. Take. Oh, you didn't need to promote, just rook here was mate, but this is very aesthetic. Okay, nice win from xuanet, but Zeck really putting up a fight. So this game, as black, xuanet playing as black, if he wins this game, xuanet is in the candidates of the 2020 Crazyhouse World Championship. If he doesn't, if it's a draw, he's also in. But if Zeck can win, then they go into tie breaks. And tie breaks means they play another 2 games and another 2 and another 2 until someone pushes ahead. Chicken Crossover says, very nice one, last game by xuanet. Well, what I feel is like he's winning the whole time, but in this game, but Zeck is really making him work hard and find the right moves, asking all the difficult questions. Okay, so we've got a new position. So interestingly, xuanet in xuanet's games as black, he's got new positions every game. I think that's an advantage actually in Crazyhouse to try and get new positions as black. Whereas in the games when Zeck has been black, it's been the same position every game, which if the position, I think the more times you play it, maybe the more times white can figure out how to get the first move advantage. That's why I'm thinking it's a good idea to mix things up as black. Okay, so strategically, this move weakened this square. This move what's the idea? It looks like both players playing on the light squares. So if you just see these 2 pawns for white, that's sort of strategically saying that he's eyeing f7. So bishop here is very nice, sort of. Whenever white does get something in hand, he'll be trying to work on e6, g6, or working on light squares. But black is also working on the light squares, trying to get in on f3. So it's a kind of unusual position, because both sides are working on the same color complex. Ooh, we don't want to give white a bishop. Okay, so that's interesting. Yeah, that's why he took with the knight. If you give him a bishop, he gives him extra diagonals to work on the color complex. Now what? You could... Indeed, you could reinforce. This looks nasty though, so... And that's indeed what he plays. This is okay playing himself. No, I'm just joking. Takes. So you could get a huge trade here if you wanted. Takes. And who benefits from a huge trade? White plays first, but maybe you win you create some weaknesses. But okay, he doesn't want that. So it's sort of black saying, I think I've got the edge here. Ah, these light squares are too bad though. I mean, I wonder if he's going to be regretting not. Don't just g3 f. Yeah, this is going to be painful. I feel like white's going to win this. Queen a5 for a win. Okay, knight here. Interesting. So you don't. I think yeah, black doesn't want to feed material. That's the real problem. So you can take, and this square is guarded. That's why that knight move is quite smart. He does take. Bishop here. We do see this. We see this indeed. So the problem is at f7, takes, and at g6 would be a fork. So instead, that goes for e6, e6, and then f7. So we could get a draw, and a draw is enough. Yeah, Fumi saw it before me. So pawn takes bishop. He's giving him bishop. It's actually slightly uncomfortable. What do you do with that? But he doesn't take it. So the power of this knight was it was actually coming into g6. So knight takes here. It feels like it's a slight distraction. Okay, so it's all white just for now, but it's a tense situation. Neither player has any pieces in hand. But okay, we did indeed get knight to knight, pawn takes, and knight g6, and white now has pieces in hand to really cause trouble. Knight takes rook, bishop g6, these sorts of things. He doesn't go for it. Knight takes rook, bishop takes, bishop g6, king here, or king g7. I guess h7 was still protected by the knight. That was the only mercy, as it were, in the position. Yeah, this is. I think white's got 2 pawns in hand. He could just go for g6, h7, maybe. Okay. This seems strange. You can just take it, by the way. Boom. Why would he do that? I don't get it. Is there a reason? Oh, I see. If you take it, there is knight takes rook check, and bishop g6 takes this. So there is a trick. There is a trick. Oh, this is surely getting yourself mated here. Let's see. King. Okay, pawn takes queen. Whoa. Maybe xuanet can win this now suddenly. Knight takes pawn. Pawn takes. You need a. I don't see. Knight takes pawn. Pawn takes, but I just don't see any follow up. Oh, bishop takes knight. Oh wow. That changes everything because now you have knight here. This sort of position with queen and knight. Yeah, this just changes everything. Queen comes in here and oh, just pawn there's checkmate. My goodness, what a turnaround! And yay for xuanet. I mean, that was. Oh my goodness. But like this position, I think white just needed to pull the trigger. Apparently white isn't really winning. I mean, I was thinking just pull the trigger. What could possibly go wrong? So I was thinking bishop takes f8 was necessary, and then in that case, g6 is not the strongest move. Oh yeah, bishop f5. Ouch. Bishop f5. My goodness. But there must have been some point when white should have just pulled the trigger. Taking the queen, yeah. Like here, instead of trying to reinforce into here, just why can't you just take this? Apparently it's not a good idea. Check here, takes. Okay, so rook takes, then bishop to f5, queen takes f5, e takes f5, f takes g2. So obviously this is a huge threat, but isn't what we have stronger? Apparently not. With one of white's strongest ideas being simply taking here and getting a kind of rook takes h6 block, rook takes h7. It doesn't work. Whoa. So what do you do after at h7? If rook takes h7, I assume king takes is risky because you're putting your king on a light square, but at g7, king takes g7, or you get mated. So king takes g7, so it's not so clear. At h6, king g8. So you have to go all defensive, bishop takes g2. Okay, so this is tough, really tough. If we look at the analysis bar, yeah, white was winning, and then suddenly, with a single move, this knight takes pawn, you're suddenly losing again. Just best was just g takes f3. To take this f3 threat seriously. Not quite sure why it was such a big deal, but and then did either side have mate in this whole period? Apparently not. So white had plus 11, plus 14. And that was the wrong move. Taking with this pawn is the wrong move. So this is the key move of the match. This is the key move of the match. Just this position here. Knight takes pawn, desperado move, just to try and make something happen. It wasn't just taking the pawn though, it was opening up the bishop for bishop takes knight. I didn't see that. So I thought black was dead here. And black is dead if white plays king c2. Queen can't come here because the knight protects it. So you're not deflecting this knight. The knight is a good defender. And basically the only attacking idea for black is queen takes pawn. You can throw in, bishop at a4, bishop at b3, but you can just take it. There's no attacking idea. So the only attacking idea is queen takes d3. Just takes it and knows nothing. c4 check. Could even just take this as well. Bishop here check, and then probably start to back off. You've got to be careful actually. So I was thinking just back off, and that turned out to be a mistake because then at d4. So it turns out you have to keep going. So if at c6, king takes d6, rook here check, and then block. And then you're safe. So that would have been white's way of winning. But instead, he took that knight, and it was a poisoned piece because you win a knight, and really nice checkmate sequence. So the queen controls the first rank, the knight controls the second rank. With this, you block off the escape into the third rank. So it's a very pretty pattern. You block off the escape into the third rank, and so it's all over. I was thinking of this block with the bishop. This doesn't work. Queen takes d2. Oh yeah, because it's pinned, so that does work indeed. Here, and then you can either go queen here, or knight here, or pawn here, or bishop here. So 4 different mates. Okay, so congratulations to xuanet. He progresses to the candidates, and just to open up the challenge briefly, he will also play a $100 match against, wait for it, against the winner of Penguin GIM1 and variants only. So the winners of these 2 matches, xuanet against Zeck and Penguin GM1 against variants only, will both be through to the candidates, but they will also play each other for $100 in a special prize match. So xuanet is through and will play the winner of Penguin GM and variants only in round 5 for $100. And the other people through to the candidates will be the winner of Bugzilla the Finisher, the winner of Chicken Crossroads Clearcast, the winner of Mastertan Mugwort, the winner of Jeremy Durham against King Switcher, the winner of GSVC against Little Plotkin. Oh no, hang on. Yes, sorry, that's which is already GSVC. Okay, and the winner of Jasugi 99 against Atamek, which is already Jasugi 99. Okay, so the only ones of these matches that have been played already are Jasugi 99 is already through, GSVC already through. They all played for a prize match, and the rest is still to be decided. and that they will determine 8. So they will determine 8 of the candidates, and a further 4 candidates will come from the elimination battles. Okay, well, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I need to rush off, but thanks for joining me. It was a fun stream. We began the stream with Magnus Carlsen playing his first ever game of Crazyhouse, at least on his public accounts. GM Dr. Nichterstein. He lost the game from a winning position. It was an interesting game. And then we saw xuanet win 6-4 against Zeck, and Zeck still has a chance to progress. He'll have to win a couple of elimination battles, I think, or more. 2 or 3 elimination battles if he wants to also get to the candidates. Tough games. Thanks everyone for watching, and goodbye.